Atomic Habits. Bonus Chapter 2. How to apply these ideas to business. In Atomic Habits, I explain a 4-step loop that underlies all of human behavior. Cue, craving, response, and reward. When repeated, this neurological feedback loop leads to the formation of new habits. As a reminder, the habit loop can be represented as follows. From these steps, I have developed the 4 laws of behavior change. 1. Cue. Make it obvious. 2. Craving. Make it attractive. 3. Response. Make it easy. And 4. Reward. Make it satisfying. These 4 laws can be applied to make any behavior easier, and the inversion of each law can be applied to make any behavior harder. In business, these same principles can be used to create more effective products and to help employees establish more effective habits. In this appendix, I will explore some examples of how each law might be applied in a business context. I offer these only as a starting point. The 4 laws of behavior change are meant to provide a framework that can be flexible and adapt as your needs and tastes change. I think you'll find that the applications are nearly endless. The first law. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. This law is connected to the cue, which is the first step of the habit loop. A cue is anything that gets your attention, or your customer's attention, and signifies what to do next. As you might expect, cues that are more obvious will be more likely to get a person's attention, and as a result, are more likely to be acted upon. This is one reason why advertising often feels intrusive. Many ads are loud, bright, glaring, and eye-catching, even if they are gaudy, because they're trying to be as obvious as possible. The dozens of notifications that light up your phone, computer screen, social media networks, and software programs are an example of making it obvious for the user to know what to do next. In fact, many companies have found that the more notifications they send, text messages, email blasts, alerts, etc., the more users will engage with their product. Even my dentist will now send me 2 emails and 2 text messages about each appointment. Many companies have realized that each reminder makes the product or service obvious again, and the user remembers to come back to it. As a user, this can be incredibly annoying. Companies often appear to be in a race to the bottom to grab your attention, and the app who interrupts you the most wins. The converse is also true. In support of the first law, we would expect behaviors that are less obvious or prevalent to be less likely to occur. The ad slot tucked away below the fold is clicked on less than the banner running at the top of the page. The products stored on the bottom shelf are less likely to be purchased, and so on. When an item or an action is invisible, it is often forgotten. This is one reason software companies hide buttons like cancel account and log out in hard-to-find places, nested deep within the settings and menus. Additionally, whenever possible, you want to make anything that could distract the user from the desired behavior invisible. It's no surprise that many of the most habit-forming behaviors, like playing a slot machine at a casino, are solitary. There are no windows, very few distractions, and nothing but slot machines surrounding each player. It's very easy to get into the zone and continue playing because distractions are invisible and the desired behavior is obvious. Businesses can utilize the first law of behavior change in many ways. Put your most profitable product in the front of the store or in the most visible locations. Ask employees to remove distracting applications from the home screen on their phones so they are less likely to click to see them and click mindlessly. Design the office workflow so the most important tasks are the most obvious locations. Include instructions with each product that prompt users to display your product in a prominent place in their home or on the home screen of their device. The most obvious cue is often the one that captures your attention, and the cue that gets your attention is the one that can initiate a habit. The second law. The second law of behavior change is to make it attractive. This law is connected to the craving, which is the second step of the habit loop. As we discussed in the first law, you want your product to be obvious. Example, at the top of the email inbox or on a huge billboard or sitting at the front of the store. But once it's in an obvious location, you need the image it creates in the customer's mind to be attractive. Every behavior is preceded by a prediction. When it comes to business, this means every purchase is preceded by a prediction. This is a key point. The customer does not buy your product. They buy the prediction it creates in their mind. They look at all of the soda bottles in the vending machine and predict Coke will taste the best, so they buy it. Or they need to create a website and decide to choose the service with the best reviews because they predict it will be the most satisfying experience. For many products, making it attractive comes down to explaining the benefits in a clear and compelling way. This is why you'll occasionally hear marketers and graphic designers say things like, "The words are the design," or "Copy is a design issue." Choosing the correct words makes the message attractive and the product beautiful in the customer's mind. In many cases, personalizing the message can be an effective way to implement the second law of behavior change, because products are often more attractive when they seem relevant to the customer's life. If you're a freelance writer, it is more powerful to read a sales page with the title, "Exactly How to Double Your Income as a Freelance Writer," than to read, "How to Double Your Income." It's the same pitch, but the first one feels like it's made for you. This strategy is even more powerful if you can use the person's first name. Imagine if the freelance writer mentioned above was named Olivia, and she received an email with the subject, "Olivia, here's exactly how to double your income as a freelance writer." Similarly, many online retailers create offers that are highly personalized. Rather than offering a product for managers, they display different text on the sales page depending on who is looking at the screen. Depending on their title, one person sees a product for chief financial officers, and another sees the same product pitched for marketing managers. This strategy can be used in nearly any area of life. Everyone is selling something, even if it doesn't feel like sales. Doctors sell healthy lifestyle changes to their patients. Coaches sell teamwork to their players. Parents sell life skills to their kids. Making your message personal, something as simple as saying the other person's name, helps connect with people in a meaningful way and is one way to make change a bit more attractive. Amazon utilizes personalization every day. The company often showcases items a customer has viewed recently, or products that are similar to what they have purchased in the past. It becomes very attractive to spend money on Amazon because customers are always seeing what is relevant to them. Of course, individual personalization is not always possible, but businesses can often personalize at scale if they pair the product with a strong identity. For example, Toyota has been able to connect driving a Prius with being environmentally friendly. If you are the type of person who believes strongly in helping the environment, then buying a Prius is a way to signal your identity to others. The product instantly becomes more attractive to a certain type of consumer because it feels like an extension of their identity. This type of connection can be incredibly powerful, which means it might be useful to highlight the identity your product represents. Another strategy that can increase the attractiveness of a product, and which I discuss in detail in Chapter 10, is highlighting social norms. Humans are heavily influenced by the crowd. If you can show a customer that other people like them use your product, people in their zip code, from their hometown or their team, etc., they will be more likely to find it attractive themselves. There is an important caveat here that deals with framing. If people think the behavior your product requires is rare, you should frame those who have it in a positive light. Achieving status. 60% of millionaires read one book every day. With our new product, you can too. If people think the behavior your product requires is common, then frame those who don't do it in a negative light, deviating from the norm. 75% of people in your neighborhood are paying less than you on their energy bill. Click here and learn how to not miss out on these savings. Finally, you can make any product inherently more attractive by employing the third and fourth laws of behavior change. Behaviors that are cheap, easy to do, low social costs, immediate payoffs are attractive. Behaviors that are expensive, hard to do, high social costs, delayed payoffs are unattractive. Let's talk more about how to get those two laws working in your favor. The third law. The third law of behavior change is to make it easy. This law is associated with the response, which is the actual behavior or habit that you perform. Behaviors are more likely to be performed when they are easy, that is, when they can be accomplished with ease. From a business standpoint, perhaps the most effective way to employ the third law of behavior change is to map out the chain of behaviors that a customer must perform to purchase your product or use your service, and then search for any possible area where you can reduce the friction associated with the task. Imagine the first ride-sharing services like Uber or Lyft. When they were launching, they could have mapped out the chain of behaviors a customer had to perform to get a ride across town. Walk outside, wait for a taxi to pass on the street, get in, ride across town, arrive at destination, pull out a credit card or cash, pay for the ride, put the credit card or any change back in their purse or wallet, get out of the car, etc. Then the company could look at each stage and ask themselves how they could reduce the friction associated with the task, or eliminate that step entirely. How can we make it easier to walk outside? What if users could download an app that would summon a car from their phone and didn't have to walk outside at all? How can we make it easier to wait for the ride? What if we told users how long it would be until a ride arrived? Then they could just walk outside at the right moment. How can we make it easier to get in the car? No change. How can we make it easier to ride across town? Rather than leave it up to the driver's memory, we can display the route on the user's phone and the driver's phone. Now the user can make suggestions if they want to go a different way, and the driver can rely on the GPS for up-to-date information and routing. How can we make it easier to pay for the ride? We already have an app on the user's phone. What if we asked users to upload their credit card information? Then they could pay automatically and just exit the car once they arrive, and so on. In Chapter 12 of Atomic Habits, I wrote, "Business is a never-ending quest to deliver the same result in an easier fashion." The idea is to make every phase of the process as convenient as possible. Consider the timeline of Amazon's shipping policies. In 1994, Amazon was founded. In 2002, Amazon launches free Super Saver shipping with free shipping on orders over $99. 2005, Amazon launches Amazon Prime with free 2-day shipping on all products. 2014, Amazon launches Read While Your Book Ships, so people who bought the print version of a book can read the Kindle version instantly while they wait for the purchase to arrive in the mail. 2018, Amazon launches free grocery delivery within 2 hours. Amazon is continually looking to give customers what they want in an easier, faster, and more convenient fashion. Get it shipped free, get it shipped free in 2 days, get it shipped free in 2 hours, get it right now while you wait for us to ship it to you free in 2 days. Great businesses remove every point of friction they can think of to make the desired behavior as easy as possible. The fourth law. The fourth law of behavior change is to make it satisfying. The final stage of the habit loop is the reward. If there is a reward associated with the behavior, that is, it feels good and has a satisfying ending, then we have a reason to repeat it in the future. In Chapter 15 of Atomic Habits, I say, the first 3 laws of behavior change, make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it easy, increase the odds that a behavior will be performed this time. The fourth law of behavior change, make it satisfying, increases the odds that a behavior will be repeated next time. It completes the habit loop. In business, we could say that making your product or service satisfying increases the odds that a customer will return next time. It is the fourth stage that closes the loop and encourages your customers to use your product or service habitually. The speed of the reward is a crucial factor in the fourth law of behavior change. Customers need to feel immediately successful, even if it's just in some small way, each time they use a product or service. At a minimum, the product should solve the problem, that is, resolve the craving they experienced in Law 2, and if possible, it should do so with some surprise or delight as well. Creating a satisfying experience requires a balance between the second law, make it attractive, and the fourth law, make it satisfying, because your level of satisfaction is directly linked to your level of expectation and desire. The danger of making too big a promise is that you'll get people to buy once, but they won't have a reason to buy again. Think, massive discounts that aren't followed with great experiences, or the sales team making a promise that the product team can't deliver on. Huge expectations might trigger a single sale, but you'll never create a buying habit. One way to employ the fourth law is to drop in little bits of satisfaction throughout the experience. For example, car manufacturers have begun to add a fake engine noise to their cars and trucks to create a satisfying growl when the owner punches the accelerator. Additional examples are covered in Chapter 15 of Atomic Habits, like adding flavor to chewing gum or toothpaste. Of course, this same principle can be applied to help the employees of any company build better habits. Behaviors can be reinforced by offering small bits of praise and encouragement throughout the workday. One founder I interviewed spoke of a simple method his company was using to make work more satisfying. Everyone gets a post-it note in the form of a hand, he said. It's called a 5. And whenever someone does something above and beyond, it goes on the community wall in the break room, and everyone sees it. It's just about celebrating the behaviors we want to reinforce. At the end of the month, we pick a few out, read them out loud to everyone, and then give out a few gift cards. Everyone goes up and grabs a few and then finds the person that it's written about, and then gives it to them. We want to have little wins all the time. Behaviors that make you feel good. That is, behaviors that are followed by an immediate sense of satisfaction or praise or encouragement or pleasure, are exactly the kind of behaviors you want to repeat in the future. End of Atomic Habits Bonus Chapter 2.